So here we are on a Tuesday, no less, right? On a Tuesday, right? We're actually doing it. How you doing, Pagan, Meek, Skeet, 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 Cosmic? I saw JT in here earlier. I don't know if he's still here or not. Yes, I have the power to ban myself, and there's been many times I've actually thought about banning myself from YouTube. But speaking of bans, I'm still banned from, which I think is absolutely hilarious, especially if you spent any time watching my lives, watching videos of mine on YouTube and whatnot, that I am still banned from the Star Citizen refund subreddit. I find that hilarious. I got 2 more months to go. 2 more months to go on that. That still makes me laugh. Still makes me laugh hysterically. What's up, Squirrel? I have a disagreement with one of the refundians. Actually, not even a disagreement. You drop some facts on them and they don't like that, so they ban you. So I thought that was hilarious. Thought that was absolutely hilarious that I got banned from there. So real quick, that's what I thought, Meek. Bleeze? It's because I wanted to say Mr. E. I wanted to say Blaze, aka Mr. E. Yeah, I'm not even like. So here's the thing. If you know me, and you'll know by now that I don't tell anybody to do it, what to do with their money, right? I do not, like, it's your money. You worked for it. It's your money, right? Skeet. Yeah, me too. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. Now, if you want my opinion, I'll do this in a second. So here's my thing. Wow. So when it comes to being banned from refund Reddits, all it really came down to was somebody said that customer support told them that if they wanted to continue to play 4.0, this was when it first came out, that you would have to buy a new account and gift over all your ships to it. That was the only way for them to get access. And a few people in there asked for receipts, and of course it just turned argumentative and nobody wanted to actually provide proof. And I came in basically saying, this is BS, because not only are they not providing receipts, but I've been through this before, and they're not going to tell you to buy a new account. The amount of legal issues it would bring up, and the problems within the community, the community backlash would be so astronomical, they would never ask anybody to do that. And, they basically said, well, do you know? And I said, yeah, I do know. I've been through this before. And I would have to go back and find the 15 plus emails that they sent back and forth. But when I got account locked, not once did they suggest that I buy a new account and gift over all my ships. Not one time. Not one time. They tried having me do a couple of things at first. It didn't work. And it basically turned into, wait for the hot fix, wait for this hot fix, wait for that, and then it was just wait until the next patch. So not once did they tell me to buy a new account and gift all my ships to it, because that would be a horrible PR nightmare. Now, as far as the Salty Mike Montoya drama, look, I had already written a script for a PvP PvE video that I was working on, and I put it aside because a lot of that drama died down. But I figure, since it's PvP season again in Star Citizen, maybe I'll make it. I need to get some B-roll and whatnot, but I figured I may as well record it and get the B-roll and put it in there. This is an age-old debate in Star Citizen, and they are here's the thing. Salty went over it at length. I think Montoya did. I only watched one of the videos, right, of the three that went back and forth so far. Star Citizen is designed in a way right now that unless they did some major redesigning to the entire way the game is laid out right now, you cannot do a PvE or a PvP only server. It's not going to work. And all these how do I put it? All these anti-PvPers or even the pro PvPers, right? If as soon as you separate it, all their dreams for the economy that they want and the player-to-player interaction and all of that they've asked for 10 plus years, it all goes away. It all gets flushed down the toilet, and you cannot recover it. It's gone, right? And they would have to redesign everything that they were talking about redesigning, or they would have to redesign all the things that they're currently designing to make it work. So it's not going to happen. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what's up, Indy? I've been playing for 3 years. Most of 1 year was me being a Bob, don't talk to me, don't touch me kind of guy, right? To going into PvP, to going into pirating and that sort of stuff. I have hauled, back when I was a Bob, millions of dollars of quantanium and gold. I have, as a pirate, been moving mass amounts of maize and widow and weevil eggs and even RMC and CMC or whatever it's called, and mining materials, right? As a pirate. And can count probably on one hand how many times I've been pirated, right? Probably one hand. And I'm sure there's a large majority of people that play daily can tell you how many times they've actually been pirated, right? Murder hoboed. Yeah, I've been murder hoboed. It 99% of the time happens at a space station, right? And there's ways to avoid it. There's still ways to avoid it, even with master modes. But people don't want to think about that. And I don't want to go too deep into this, but as I was saying, a PvE only server or a PvP only server would destroy any and all visions that they have for this game as far as the player-to-player economy, player-to-player interaction, etc. It would all have a trickle-down effect and make the game slower and more boring than it is now, right? There's a reason why I only play maybe twice a month these days. Star Citizen has become a game that I don't really get much enjoyment out of. And why play something that you don't get much enjoyment out of? I can spend my time doing other things that I get enjoyment out of. Yes, you'll see me occasionally hanging out with Pagan or a couple of the other guys. Yeah, I mean, it's called hanging out with friends, and I get more enjoyment hanging out with them talking on a mic than I do actually playing Star Citizen, which is weird coming from a guy that spent two and a half years playing it every day, 3 to 4 plus hours a day, 6-7 days a week, and attempting to make a YouTube channel that was a majority of Star Citizen, right? So, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the last time I played, I got ganked. I got ganked running bunkers. Did I get mad? Did I cry? Did I get upset? Did I, streamer bro back off? Did I do any of that? No. If you go back and you watch that, you see I do get a little disappointed that I got shot down, but who doesn't get disappointed when they get shot down? What was my response? I wonder who that was. I couldn't target them, so I wonder who it was. I wonder if it was somebody I know. That is the most interaction I got out of that was, who was it? That's all I really cared about. I just wanted to know who it was. I didn't want to go and get revenge or anything like that. I just wanted to know who it was. I just wanted to know if it was somebody I knew. If it was like Carl or one of the guys from Griefernet, or you know, was it JT? You know, was it Mr. E? I don't know. I don't care. And even if they did, it was a Jimmy the sweetheart. Who knows? Who knows? Would I have cared? No, I wouldn't have. Especially if it was one of them, I would have been like, "Oh man, that was pretty cool. I'm glad you were able to find me and get me like that." And that's really it. For me right now, there is no reason to get attached to anything in this game. Why? It's gonna wipe in a month anyways. Like, who cares? Who cares? All the stuff that you made during this patch is probably going to get wiped as soon as 4.02 drops. And if it doesn't then by the time 4.1 comes out, which could be later, you know, in May, right? It's all going to get wiped. So who's like, seriously, who cares? Who cares? Right? Oh, I lost my subscriber gear. Who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? It'll be back. It'll be back. And what does your subscriber gear do anyways for you, right? It just looks cool. You can go out and find some other cool armor. That's like, I don't know. Fun fact, if you turn off your engines in low orbit, gravity wins. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. And paganism, man. I mean, it's mostly his cats, let's face it. It's the cats and Mrs. B. That's why we all watch, right? Oh, I got vitamins. Thank you, honey. I love you. Ooh, you got a braid. Nice. Good night. I love you. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, who cares? Who gives a crap? All your stuff's going to be gone. None of this stuff has unique stats. So what? Just, you know, Hull C exploit your way back to getting all your stuff back, right? Right? Just Hull C it back, you know. Speaking of which, we're going to watch a Commerl video. It says see, this is what I don't understand. Sometimes I put these videos directly into my reacts without watching, right? And it says I watched them, or I watched a portion of them. I didn't watch these. I don't know what. Anyways, so we're going to knock a couple of Commerl videos out of the way, and then we're going to, you know, jump back and forth again like we always do. There's a few videos I wanted to get to last week that I didn't get to. So if we have time, we'll get back to them. So Commerl, Hull C exploit. Let's go.
So your ports. Hello everyone. Yes, another video about the Hull C aUEC exploit, because we have now some new, very interesting information. Yes, it's normal that CRG removes RC reports that contains exploits from public view. I'm all for it. This is fine. However, it took CRG more than one day.
So here's the thing. Like, there's been a lot of times that CIG will get reports about exploits, and they'll mark them as duplicates, or they'll push them off to another area and or say they've been fixed, when in reality they haven't. You know, I'll talk to you about the most famous one. It was the whiskey glass 30K. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you could go to the Crusader area. You could buy whiskey, put about 10 in your inventory, open up your inventory, put a whiskey glass in your hand, and close your inventory, open it back up, and repeat this process until you had about a stack of 10 whiskey glasses in your hand. And when you did the 10th one, boom, it 30K'd the entire server. Every time, without fail. You could do this at any time. It stayed in the game for 2 years. It wasn't until Grumpy, and there was another bigger than Grumpy YouTuber that discussed this and showed it on their channels on how you can do this. And 24 hours later, it was fixed. But it was a bug that had been there for 2 years. It had been marked as duplicate. It had been pushed off to the side. They said they had fixed it. It was never fixed. So for during that 2 years, there could have been a chance that while you were playing and you got a 30K, that it wasn't necessarily the server's fault. It could have been a player over on Crusader doing it on purpose. Not saying that was the case for every 30K we had back then, but there's a chance.
To hide the IC report about Alpha UEC HLC exploit. This IC report had 60 contributions in just a few hours. It's not exactly a secret anymore. By the way, about my videos, if CRG wants me to remove my videos where I talk about the HLC Alpha UEC exploit, Chris can contact me. He knows how. I mean it. And now I learned something new. I do not feel bad anymore for making my videos about this HLC Alpha UEC exploit, because now it turns out similar Alpha UEC exploits are in a game for 3 months by now, and CRG knows about the HLC Alpha UEC exploit at least since December. Isn't this crazy? This was yesterday.
So it's so funny that just a few months ago, what was it, 3.24? 3.23, when they temporarily banned people for 7 to 27 days that were doing dupe exploits, but then when they get reported again a few months later, it's just whatever. We'll let it go.
In Spectrum testing chat. Yesuf made a comment about Alpha UEC exploit using a HLC. Knight Rider removed his posting, and Knight Rider wrote, at Yesuf, it has previously been advised we would prefer if exploits weren't shared publicly. I can say that development is aware of this internally. Knight Rider CRG continued. In general, the preferred method of reporting exploits is via the issue council or customer service, where they can be.
So, and here's I have a problem with this. The issue council and customer service is not going to help you with this, right? They're going to file it on down the road, and somebody may or may not even look at it. The issue council, come on, guys, it's borderline a joke at this point. How many times have you made issue council reports and it gets marked as duplicate, or it's been sitting there for a long time and nothing's been done with it? You know, I do believe the Gladiator still has the issue where if you have a gun above the on the spline, it can cause what's the word? An epileptic seizure. They said they've known about it, but it's never been fixed. And there's a lot of other bugs, right? I mean, come on. How long have we been falling through planets? How long have we been dealing with, you know, not having mission markers or party markers? Come on.
Routed to developments for investigation. The interest is to avoid these points, instructions, and video content proliferation, as this has a knock-on effect of the exploit being more widely used in the game. Something we would prefer to avoid. Someone replied to Knight Rider.
I agree.
What's
up, TJ?
Knight Rider CRG. Just a question then. Why is one of the exploits that was reported long time ago still in-game? And now, since nothing has been done after almost 3 months, guy who found it made a video and hope you will fix it. Knight Rider CRG replied, nothing that I'm directly involved in. I couldn't speak to development priorities. And this comment on my video yesterday, he already filed it as an exploit. They have spoken to him personally, CRG, so they know but did nothing. He's Evo and told them last year about
thanks,
it.
TJ.
It's 100% on CRG. It was refiled specifically like this, so
that's a good point too, Cosmic.
Repeat it and force CRG to fix it. CRG, exploits don't disappear if you hide IC reports. Exploits disappear if you fix the issues. And if you, CRG, would have good coders, would test and check changes, such Alpha UEC exploits wouldn't come up again and again and again.
See, doesn't that come down to QA, right? Which they already laid off half of the QA department, if not more. And it's not like the QA department was really doing that good of a job anyway, right? Because, once again, we've reported exploits like these for a long time. When I first got into Star Citizen, I was the poster boy.
Stay a while and listen.
Stuff. What's up, man? I I was the poster boy. I wanted to be an Evo, so I did all the PTUs and filled out my issue council reports and did all of that stuff, right? I went above and beyond, because I wanted to be the model Star Citizen guy, right? And it got me nowhere. And I think it was around 318. I said, okay, that's enough. I did the 3.72 PTU, 3, 4, 5, and the 318, and me and Marcus and Canop were playing all the time together, and we were making reports and doing the thing and making videos and live streams talking about how the game is not ready, how that patch was not ready, and everybody in our comment sections and everything told us we were crazy and we didn't know what we were talking about. And then 318 hit, and suddenly who was right? So I just stopped doing it. I just, who cares, right? I just, who cares? I don't feel that my time is worth doing all these issue council reports anymore. And I don't really want to be an Evo because, right now, who the fuck cares? Like, seriously. Why do I want to play and test and fill out more issue council reports that are obviously not going to be dealt with, right?
This is by far not the only alpha UC exploit we had
Nope.
in the last years.
And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked. Everywhere I
This is
looked,
Far
all these
Cry.
fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking.
This is too good. This is too perfect.
No, please. This time, it's gonna be different. I'm sorry.
CRG's answer revealed auch quite
Yeah, I know Grumpy, but I heard there's a content creator program too that apparently we're not allowed to be a part of because of our attitudes.
a few quality assurance people last year. And for those who say it's an alpha, who cares about the economy? Well, CRG obviously cares. We have vibes. CRG is hiding SE reports with alpha UC exploits. CRG is fixing bugs like the item insurance bug quickly. Yes, this was an exploit, but people could quote-unquote insure their items. Something CRG is promising us since we got the inventory system in 2021. CRG wants to sell ships for real money. Having a lot of
Yeah,
alpha UC
that's
exploits will hurt. their
kind of true,
sales.
yeah.
People are selling alpha UC on eBay, making a lot of real money. So please don't.
I get YouTube commercials for buying alpha UEC. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they're always talking about they want the economy fixed, but they don't do anything like this.
Don't tell us there is no economy yet.
Sunshine
Conclusion,
citizen.
CRG knows about the HC alpha UC exploit for months, but CRG's leadership decided to ignore this exploit to do nothing besides moving RC reports out of public view. I'd like to remind everyone again, this is a $1 billion project in year 13. CRG's leadership is a joke. Don't put any more money into Star Citizen until Chris has left.
Thought it was
the
year
project.
14.
If I want to burn my money, I'm perfectly able to do it without you, Chris. I feel bad. I believed in Chris and CRG's lies. I feel sad. I put so much money into Star Citizen. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, what he said. Oh.
You asking me to speak frankly, sir?
Yes. Well, like,
This is Generation Kill? I think
sir,
this is
it's just that you're
Generation Kill.
incompetent, sir.
Hey, you're still here.
Well, that's Camerl for you guys. Pretty much on point as usual. We'll do one more from him, and then we're gonna jump to some other non-Star Citizen stuff. So yeah, so this is aside from all the PvP drama going on between Salty and Montoya, this has always been an interest of mine because, well, I don't like master modes. I don't think that's a secret. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I think it made flying dumb and tedious, more so than it was before. But you know, here we go. Camerl and 4.01 master modes news.
Hello everyone, here we have a Spectrum posting from Anna, February 16th. What happened to the atmospheric flight model shown at CitizenCon 2953? This was 2023. During the Taking Flight panel at CitizenCon 2023, the team showed off a generally cool
I forgot to put that on my video where I did the green checks and the red and the green checks and the red X's, right? I forgot to put that on there.
Atmospheric flight model with stalling and AFCS. Sadly, none of that work has made it into the game so far, which leads me to wonder, is this something that is still being planned, or is this something that has been scrapped? If it's still being planned, can we get an update on its status? Well, to be honest, this was just another faked video. There are lots of videos CRG is making just for CitizenCon and for their weekly shows, showing us things that are still not in the game, sometimes even 10 years later, and most likely won't be in the game ever.
Sandworm, explosive decompression. It's been 3 years now. 3 years since they showed push-pull, zero gravity mechanics. How many years for the Reclaimer Claw? How many years for that? And they've made multiple videos even after the Reclaimer came out, right?
So why am I showing this? This is more than 1 week old. Because Yogi replied. Yogi clad yesterday, Lady Anna. What we have shown at CitizenCon 2023 was a so-called control surface model. This is not an isolated feature, but part of a much larger update to the flight model, which is currently ongoing. Translation: this was a faked video for CitizenCon 2023. We have no idea yet how to put this
Stay a while and listen.
2024 wasn't really a focus year for the flight model, but we started.
New type, what's up, man? Anyone falling through the elevator, or do we need a better PC? No, it's not your PC, man. It is not your PC at all. I've been playing for 3 years, and I've been falling through elevators for 3 years. It's not you. It's not your PC. It's not how you play the game. It's just Star Citizen doing Star Citizen stuff. We've been falling through elevators, through planets, through ships, through hangar floors, through just about anything. Just about anything we've been falling through and having problems with since before I've been here. Like I said, I've been here 3 years and I've been dealing with it off and on. Now, some patches are better than others, but it's still a thing that you're going to have to deal with until they decide to get some coders that know what they're doing and how to prevent that from happening. And there's several people here that know more about coding this sort of stuff than I do, but there's an easy way to do it and they just don't do it.
Getting back to it directly after Xmas break. Okay, what have you done in 2024, Yogi? The Dark-Eyed Fox wrote, I don't need an ETA, but I need to know one thing. Does this enable controlled descent while in atmosphere if you get disabled? And Yogi replied, if it's just the thrusters that are failing, you can still glide, assuming the ship currently generates enough lift. The question is more if the flight computer IFCS core is online or not.
I've shot disabled many ships and they don't glide out of the air. They just tumble and spin and do all kinds of wonky things until they hit the ground, bounce, and explode. They don't glide. Now, if he's talking about revamping the entire physics engine behind flying, then yeah, it might do that. But it doesn't. We don't have this, right? I've been shot down over Microtech. I've been shot down over Hurston. You don't glide. You tumble until your character blacks out, and then you hit the ground and explode. I think they would have to revamp everything with flying and the flying physics. So this would be years and years and years and years down the line.
Not if offline, no commands would be moved to the control.
That's true,
surfaces.
Cosmic.
So you would still glide because the aerodynamics are still calculated, but you couldn't affect.
No, they're not.
If your flight computer is online, you can control your ship even without thrusters being online. Landing will be pretty hard though, but probably not impossible. Let's take a real-life example, an airliner where all hydraulics are gone. Big airliners have multiple independent hydraulic systems, but it has happened before that all three were gone. Add to this, no more engines, put this airplane into the air, no engines, no control surfaces. What would happen? You will fall down, you have no control at all.
This is also
There's
true.
no way you can land this plane. This will be a crash and everyone on board will be dead.
I don't know if it, depending on how it happened, where it happened, and I guess weather conditions, you could probably glide down a 727, 37. But depending on what's going on in the atmosphere, you could definitely go into a tumble and it be all over with. So I guess there's degrees to this, but he's also not wrong either.
I have no idea why Yogi wrote he would still glide. Once again, Yogi has no idea about atmospheric flight. There are examples where real-life airliners landed just with engine thrust. It was of course a two-engine airplane, but those are very rare. If you have no control surfaces plus no more engines, there's nothing you can do. Your spaceship
I
or
have
your
ribs
airliner
stuck in
will
my
just
teeth.
roll
Sorry,
over
guys.
and crash to the ground. By the way, where are parachutes? Where are ejection seats with retro thrusters for moons, planets without sufficient dense atmosphere? Where are escape pods? Still nowhere to be seen in year
There's a lot of
13.
ships with escape pods.
Wrote, Gladiator, used in a new flight model at CitizenCon 2023, has movable flaps. Yogi replied, the flap movement itself is driven by the control surface code, but it's really just an animation. It theoretically
JT,
could also be
thank
hooked
you.
up to the legacy aerodynamics system. If you want to have aerodynamic flight, movable control surfaces in a game, you need some very basic physics in this game. Games like DCS, games like flight simulators have this, but Star Citizen in year 13 still doesn't have even some very basic physics. The best we can hope in Star Citizen is those flaps, those control surfaces will just kinda move into the right direction when you are doing certain maneuvers, but it will look all very bad.
Look, if you're flying in third person when they add control surfaces, you might see some of them move. You know, you pull up on your stick, you might see some of them move up and down and whatnot, but I don't think they're going to actually do anything. I think this is still going to be based on how much of your ship is still there, what thrusters are left, and that's it. Like, I don't foresee this becoming a intense atmospheric simulation like he mentioned with Microsoft Flight Simulator with DCS. I don't see that happening, right? I just don't. It's far too much work, and they would have to completely redo the physics behind their flight model around atmospheric moons and planets. And there's no way. Even if they started working on this now, this would be 2, 3, 4 years down the line. And when we do get it, it'll be tier 0, and we'll have to wait even longer, right?
Very primitive. And here's the real reason I made this video. Gentlemen's New yesterday on Spectrum. This is a very good posting, very direct, but I cannot agree more to this posting. Deploying an unfinished flight model that had a ton of backlash even while being tested in a year where it wasn't really a focus year for the flight model was a brazen and risky move by any metric. Master mode was a terrible idea, but CHG is doubling down on it. It's arcadey and gamey. Oh, you want to use your guns and have shields? Reduce your speed
That's
to
true,
SCM.
Blaze.
It's not fun. It is slow. We are now trapped in combat, which quite often is just a DPS race.
I will add to it's a DPS tank, face tank race, right? Before we used to actually have have to maneuver and kind of guess what they were going to do before they did it. Things like pre-nosing, things like pushing through, like there used to actually be quite a high skill ceiling, whereas now I watch people and it's just boom, one's dead or the other's dead. Like this is what it is. Every once in a while you get jousting where they go back and forth like this, right? And then one of them dies, right? It's boring. It's boring. I remember knife fighting people in Jonathan Winter's crew and having a really fun time doing it because you were actually maneuvering, counter maneuvering to what they're doing, and it's just not fun.
Lose enough mode and enough speed soon. Master modes does not eliminate jousting, but makes it almost mandatory in fights to survive. And minor things like weapon groups are not saved when switching modes. Chris, master modes alone cost you millions of dollars. It's a terrible idea for a game. This is a space game, we are fighting in space. Ships should feel like we are in space, not like we are in atmosphere in World War II. Developing it in the darkness of Squadron 42 without community oversight.
Here's the other thing too. So they haven't finished atmospheric flight models, right? They haven't finished the control surfaces on ships, right? They're talking about having to redo physics in the flight model, different onboard computer systems, thrusters, etc., right? Master modes, as we know, is not finished. It's okay. It's okay. I forgot to turn it off. It's not a big deal. Plus, it also alerts me too, because sometimes one of these degenerates in here puts up a new video and is like, "Hey, check this out." So it also makes me look. So it's not that big of a deal. You're not disrupting the show. But as I was saying, all these different things that they're talking about, I thought Squadron 42 was feature complete and had moved on to the polishing phase. How is this feature complete when they don't even have the flight model nailed down, right? If there's no flight model nailed down, how is Squadron 42 finished and they're just, polishing? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Can somebody that's a game developer explain this to me? How is it feature complete in polishing stages, but we don't have a flight model worked out yet? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out, right? How do we do this?
However,
Marcus, what's up, dude?
You took what was already tried.
It's the bunker buddy commander.
Vacuum, then tried to crawl it as an epiphany, and then jam it back into the game overnight. Yeah, we are in year 13, and CRG still has no idea how the flight model is supposed to be. My guess is CRG wants to reduce speeds even more, not because it's fun, it's not, but because CRG's ancient engine, CRG's terrible netcode, CRG's terrible servers cannot deal with space fight at normal speeds. No, the truth is, you retread old ground that wasted 2 years of the community's time and money a decade ago, and now we are worse off than we were a year ago, and you burned another 2 years of development.
Here's the other thing. So when I first got in, and I say legacy flight model because I got in at the back end of 316 dot whatever it was, and then started to play through 317 through where we're at today. They said that flight model got introduced a year or so before I started playing, and that they were going to continually improve upon it and make it better, because I did have some complaints about the old flight model, right? It wasn't perfect, but it was better than what we had. And yes, there were some issues with it. It was not perfect, and they definitely need to tune it and balance it and make it better, but they never even did that, at least not while I was around playing it, which was every day. I don't remember there being patch notes on it. I don't remember anybody coming out and discussing balancing and tuning to the flight model. I don't remember any of this stuff. Why? Because it never happened. And then it went away and we got master modes. And when I complained about master modes, I was told by the actually guys that this was always the plan. I don't know if it was, but if this was always the plan, man, what a shit plan.
Not creating it again, but worse. And if that were not bad enough, and you were forced to admit, it had to change again. Yes, yet she is still throwing things.
So, I mean, they're still talking about changing it. Now it's going to be operator modes, and it's going to be crafting based, right? So they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how they want to tackle this. They have no long-term plan. And if they do have a long-term plan, they keep erasing it on the whiteboard and changing it. And I have a feeling that it's Chris that keeps wiping off the end goal and replacing it on the whiteboard, right?
The wall and check what sticks. All that was transmitted were confusing plans to remove the only part people accepted, nav mode, and double down on the part people hate the most, the slow speeds and forced flight profiles. Yeah, last year, CHE said they will remove nav speed, nav mode, which is a terrible idea. Now you have the confidence to come here and tell us you have been working in the dark again for 2 more months on yet another secret flight update and don't realize another massive backlash will follow. Chris, Yogi alone cost you millions of dollars. Many people I stopped buying ships when we got the terrible master mode last year. What hubris not to realize if you have a flight model that is accepted, if not loved, for a decade and then throw it out, it might not be well received by some amount of backers. Master mode alone cost CRG millions of dollars. Because you, Yogi, became the face of...
I have a question before I hit play again. Do you think Yogi came up with this and pitched it to Chris Roberts? Or do you think Chris Roberts came up with this and just pulled somebody out of the crew and was like, you're the face of this, do it? I'm not sure which happened here, but I'm not sure which happened here, but one of these two scenarios sounds the most likely to me.
Of this, so you must accept you are the villain for many of us now. And each time you try to assure us it will be fine while you tinker in the dark behind closed doors, we get angrier and more frustrated that you didn't seem to learn the lesson that some of the basic premises of the new model many backers simply do not want. One of the flight team members leaked there was dissent at CRG internally about master modes during an IC SCL before it launched. So we know at least some devs hate it as much as we do and spoke about it, then fell in line. Yeah, Chris has surrounded himself with yes men. If you don't fall in line, if you don't agree with everything Chris wants, you better look for a new job right now.
I'm starting to think that's what happened to Todd Pappy.
I couldn't have said it any better. This posting is very, very good. Link to this is my first pinned comment below.
I'm starting to think so.
Modes. It came
Cosmic.
out of the blue.
I really am. I'm starting to think so.
Change the flight model. CRG had some excuses like something was unbalanced, light fighter ruled. Yes, ship combat was not balanced. Ship combat is still not balanced. Just one example, you gave us medium fighters like Hornet Mark II, Super Hornet Mark II with more firepower than heavy fighters. How do you ever want to balance this? You cannot. You are destroyed.
He's right. And I said in somebody's stream, the new Hornet is a miniature Corsair. How do you balance around that, right? And more importantly, how do you nerf a Corsair but leave the Connie alone? How do you nerf a Redeemer but leave the Connie alone, right? This is a little ridiculous, right? This is a little ridiculous. You have essentially a heavy fighter that moves like a medium, maybe even sometimes a light fighter, and it does more firepower than a Corsair. It does not compute with me, right? You have 4 size 4s and 2 size 3s. How do you compete with that? Yes, a good pilot can a good pilot can outmaneuver and get himself in position to win, but this is a bit ridiculous.
Showing the little bit of balance your game ever had. Master modes is such a terrible idea for a space game. Master modes feels worse than World War II in atmosphere.
Yes,
but CRG
yes,
is
it does.
even doubling down. Next nav mode will go. Chris, do you enjoy getting less money? Do you enjoy losing millions of dollars just because of master modes? My guess again, CRG's ancient engine, CRG's terrible netcode, CRG's terrible servers, even after the first iteration of server meshing, cannot deal with spacefight at normal speed.
No.
But you have to understand, Chris, you are digging your own grave. More people will stop giving you money. We want the old flight model back. We don't want master modes.
No, we don't.
It's a terrible idea for a space game. Thanks for watching. and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Can you make it to the main elevator? Okay, let's try the big elevator.
Grumpy did this once on Orison. Who was that guy? Who was that guy? Where did he go? Is he still in here? New type. If you're still here, look. It's not you. It's not your computer. It's the game.
Let's try the big elevator.
I think his laugh is what makes it even better. Oh, good Lord. Oh, God. So I'm going to get copyright claimed for this, and I don't care. I really don't. So, I talk about the old flight model and how you had to predict and maneuver and counter maneuver to what people were doing. Well, let me bring this up. I'm going to get copyright claimed for this. I'm going to get copyright claim for this hard. But this is by Gads. I do believe his in-game name is Magic or Magix, and this is from Liberty Reapers. This is a 2-year-old video. Like I said, I'm going to get in trouble for this, and I don't really care because this is the way the old flight system used to be. And you know what? Let me click on this here real quick. This is the way the old legacy flight model used to be, and it was fun, and you had to actually think about what you were doing. You had your power management that you had to mess with, how many shots, what your shields were, what they were how they were maneuvering, how you were going to counter maneuver, how they were counter maneuvering you, your pre-nosing, etc. There was so much stuff going on that you had to be paying attention to. As I said, this is by Liberty Reapers, Gads. I think it's Magix. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure. But this is extremely high level PvP back when we had our legacy flight model, right? And this to me was fun. Now, granted, there is a section in here where he fights against Avenger 1, and Avenger 1 and him have a good duel, and he speeds it up ×3 or ×4 because it's a long duel, but everything else is normal speed. So as I said, I'm going to get copyright claimed. I don't care. This is what used to make me go, wow, I wish I could do this in Star Citizen. See the pre-nosing? Knows he's going to get past him, so he pre-noses. See, actual flying. Who would have thought that this would be fun, right? Let's just slow it down. Also, if you look at these speeds, they're hovering between about 275 and 500 tops. They're not really going higher than that. And I'm not actually saying that we need more. Okay, there could be a way to save master modes. I hate to admit it. And it's not higher speeds. It's more acceleration. And the top end with boost needs to be increased, I'd say like 25%, but the speed going backwards, both without thrust and with thrust, needs to be knocked down by 1/3 or 2/3. We shouldn't be able to backstrafe as fast as we are. But you know, just watch this. This is insane flying.
Jesus.
Talon's gonna get shredded. Ooh, nearly traded paint. Another thing to see here, if you can hear me over the music, is watch how many times he gets people to pancake. And when you get pancaked, you eat a lot of shots. I think this is the Avenger 1 fight. I can't see. Oops. Maybe it would help if... Yeah, why is this in 720? Uh-huh. That's not. That's Lynn's. He does fight against Avenger 1. He has it sped way up, though. Or maybe it's this fight that he has sped up. But yeah, he does fight Avenger 1. There he is, Avenger 1. Staying right on that ass. Avenger 1 likes to fight out in medium ranges. Pancaked him a little bit, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Let's see if he gets him here. It's been like a year since I watched this video. Boom. So yeah, that's the way the flight model used to be. Bring back the old flight model, please. Please. Where you had to maneuver, counter maneuver, and all of that. Like, dude, like, dude. And you can't do 6 degrees of freedom like Blaze and I think Brian was saying. You can't do 6 degrees of freedom and then want people to fight like World War II fighters, right? Even if you go and you watch DCS guys fight, guns only, no missiles, there is still maneuver, counter maneuver, deltaing onto people, the merge. There's still skill involved there, and it's not just a dumbed down version of a flight model, right? These guys have to know what they're doing. They have to know what their ship or their aircraft is capable of doing, and how to get speed, keep that speed, and not put yourself in a situation where you start losing speed. So if you get into a turning fight, for example, if you get into a rate fight, you're not losing your speed, giving the other person their speed and allowing them to get on your tail or catch you on the bottom or the top of your aircraft, because now you just presented them a big target, right? There's a lot of skill that is involved in that, and that they didn't take a flight model and go, oh, crunch it up, throw it away, we got to redo it. No, they made a real flight model and they stuck to it, and people had to learn how to fly in that flight model. Whereas Star Citizen has taken the approach of, we have a flight model, it's a semi-decent flight model, but instead of tuning it, balancing it, and letting people learn how to fly in it, and or providing them a tutorial, we're just gonna scrap the whole thing, start all over, and try to say it's new player friendly, when it's really not new player friendly at all. It's just if you want a PvP, it's a DPS face tank race, right? Even if you PvE, it's a DPS face tank race, right? I've tried doing the bounties. It's the same thing against the bounties, except you're, you know, not as dumb as they are. That's it. That's it. I don't find the new flight system that much fun. But hey, you know, you do you, and we'll you know, we'll just sit back and wait, right? So here's a newer space game. I can't say newer. It's newish, slightly new. It's called Kanga. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Kanga. It's very Star Citizen-esque. Star Citizen light, not light. Star Citizen like. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of these games pop up. If you haven't, check out Revere. Forgiven Space. Check out this guy right here. Let me click on his name. I don't have his Twitch stuff available, but he's on Twitch and YouTube. He's making a Star Citizen like game called Unforgiven Space. Follow him on Twitch and YouTube, please. He's been working on it for He's been working on it for
in this Titan Quest 2 video.
Shut up. He's been working on it for a couple of years now. It's pretty much like a 1 or 2 man team. I don't really remember all the way, but it's coming along, and he's working on foundational stuff first before he starts doing all the shiny pretty stuff, which I appreciate. You know, we got the Verse project coming out, or being worked on. Their new update dropped and I haven't played it yet. Unfortunately, I've been playing Marvel Rivals and another game, which I'm going to keep a secret for right now. But here's also Kanga. Kanga, it's got its own Steam page. It's got a demo that you can download, or the full game that you can download. I forget, maybe both. But here we go. We're going to check out this trailer. The moon looks really good. The planet looks really good. The space stations look all right. They at least look, this one at least looks unique. Oh look, it's a 400i. I mean a 600i. What? Base building already? That's impossible. Star Citizen hasn't come up with it yet. That's impossible. No other game can do that before Star Citizen. I'm kidding. Looks very basic though, which is fine. It can be basic. This has got a DayZ feel to it. Like the graphics and stuff, it's got like a DayZ feel to it. I like... Ooh. What? We have to get codes? This is obviously very early pre-alpha, so, you know, there's gonna be jank, there's gonna be bugs. I would not recommend going into this game expecting a fantastic playing experience. It's gonna be buggy, it's gonna be janky, it's not done, and don't expect it to be done for a long time. But if the gameplay is like, let's say this is further on down the road, if the gameplay is better than the graphics, I still won't care. You know, DayZ doesn't have the best graphics, but the gameplay, the crafting, the base building, everything is so on point that I don't really care that it doesn't look that good. Oops. I clicked a button. I have not played it, Grumpy, so I don't have an opinion yet on it. The Verse looks cool, and it has amazing graphics. Kanga. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's on, yeah, like I said, it's on Steam. Looks cool, could be awesome. Who knows? It's super early in development. Yeah, this is an early access demo. Yeah. Take that for what it is, right? I'm not going to be, like Grumpy said, I'm not jumping into all these early access games and I'm going to be singing their praises from the roof and investing tons of money in it and all of that stuff. I'm not doing that. Like, you guys know I like the verse. You guys know I'm quite hopeful for what kind of development they get going in the verse over the next couple of years. I'm super excited about it. But if they ever do a monetization system where I have to pay more and more and more, or I have to buy ships or whatever, I won't play it, just because I've already been down that road before and I'm not going to do it again. Like, I just am not, right? I'm just not. And even if it goes early access and they put the game on sale for, like, I don't know, $19.99, $24.99, $29.99 even, I'm still probably not going to even buy it. There's a game that I bought about a year ago that's in early access and is basically on a lifeline as far as how many people play on the servers. I'm not going down that path again. I just am not. I'm not wasting money on all these early access games to have the rug pulled on me. I can't do it anymore. The 3 or 4, maybe 5 times I've done it is enough. I don't need to do it anymore, right? Don't need to do it anymore. We got another spaceship video, and then I might break it up with something not space related, right? Let's do this. So Jump Ship is another game that I've been looking forward to. We've watched the trailer on here a couple of times, you know, along with, like, what is it? The Exodus. What was the name of the other one? I can't remember the name of the other one. Marcus has been trying to talk to their development team. It has the big bright white banner. I can't remember the name of it. It's made by Snail Games. I remember that. I don't remember the name of the game, though. Marcus has been trying to talk to them. I cannot remember the name of that game. But anyways, this is another cool looking game. Like I said, we've watched the trailer a few times. It's called Jump Ship. It is not Star Citizen like. It is not For the Stars. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. This is more of a 4-player action game. I'm not sure if there's PvP involved in it. I know it's very heavily PvE centered. I think you can PvP, but I'm not 100%. It kind of reminds me of a newer, better version of Marauders, almost. I don't think the gameplay is quite the same. So we're going to check this out. Yeah, exactly, JT.
All right.
I detect a jamming signal emanating from the
Who's this
area.
by?
We can't
Sorry.
leave until it's been taken offline.
Keepsake Games.
I'm checking the sensors.
This looks fun,
All right.
though.
I already see the jammer, but over
Yeah.
2 kilometers away.
Looks like one squad. There doesn't seem to be any other threats around, so I think we can focus on the leader.
Oh, well,
Oh, okay, surprise.
Spoke too soon, man. They found it.
Okay, I'm on fire duty. I think we have fire on the outside.
Yeah, okay. I'll get the inside, you get the outside.
What? Engineering gameplay?
they're coming back around.
Real engineering gameplay?
gonna try to follow them a bit.
Whoa, ships flying everywhere.
That's cool. He's like... So wait a second. We have engineering gameplay. He's obviously got mag boots to stick to the side of the hull, and he's outside of the ship during a firefight. That's pretty damn cool. I kind of, the UI, it's like cartoony versus the rest of this. I kind of like it. It sticks out. What do we got here? The ship health. I would assume that's shields. Missions, UI. Okay. These are who's playing. Hendrickson, obviously the guns. He's the engine room. We got the pilot seat. This guy's on the bridge. Okay.
I missed again.
Oh,
Put me in charge of the guns.
lost the thrusters. I'm taking care of that.
Oh, cool.
Nice, thank you. Appreciate it.
Whoa, incoming.
All right,
This is
one
pretty
out.
cool.
We got him. Okay, they're coming back around.
Oh,
Yeah, I see them.
interesting.
And that
Okay.
should be it. Nice. Good job, guys.
That's cool.
All right.
So everybody's got to play
Everything seems to be
together
in order
to
on the ship,
accomplish a
right?
goal.
No fires.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
took care of it.
god!
We're good. A bit hurt. We should be fine.
And look, it's not running around replacing fuses. You actually got to do shit.
Could use some hull armor, maybe.
This is engineering gameplay that doesn't look boring. This actually looks fun. There's mini games, and if you screw up, your crew's in trouble, right?
Fix up. Crafting it right
Yeah,
now.
we took
What,
some
a 3D
damage.
printer?
Yeah.
Ready for the Corvette then.
Yeah, how do we want to go about that?
Armor installed.
I think we should probably sneak up on them, right? Try to ambush them.
Yep. That make most sense.
Okay, I can be boarding crew.
Yeah, I'll join you on that.
I don't know. This looks
I'll be
fun,
manning
guys.
the guns. So let's sneak up on them and try to board them or something. Take them out.
The fact
Yeah,
that
I'm
you
ready.
can jump up
Alright.
on top
Everybody
of
on
your
board?
ship
Yeah, ready to go.
Yeah.
while it's flying and not
Alright,
fall through
approaching.
or fly
Oh,
off
there
of
they
it
are.
is amazing.
Okay.
Nice.
Not
Yeah, they
yet.
got mag boots.
Yeah, they haven't seen us yet.
As soon as
Oh, okay. Ready to jump in 3,
starting to
Alright,
notice,
2.
That's our cue.
What?
Nice.
Going in.
Dude, that's awesome.
I got lock. I'll grapple down.
Blocking it. Right behind you,
It's
Rasmus.
so cool.
Nice,
That's awesome.
we got some damage on the ship here.
It
I'm on
does.
fire duty.
Here's the thing, though. The flight model does look arcadey, but I don't think this game is going for a super realistic sim-like experience. Like, I feel like this game knows what it is and isn't trying to be anything other than that. And I've never, in all the trailers and stuff that I've watched of it, I don't think it was ever advertised as having realistic space combat. It's more or less work together as a team. Your spaceship is more of a means of a way to get back and forth between different mission types, right? Because I've seen on the ground stuff on like planets and asteroids and moons, and then some space combat, but I've never seen this in the trailers, which I think this is really cool.
Yeah, it's like mild resistance on the Corvette. We're working our way through.
We got radiation on the ship.
Oh, thank you for the invite,
weak
Marcus.
points. We can blow this thing up.
I'll click on that
wow.
after the stream. This looks awesome.
Okay, weak point open.
Oh, they hacked it
Oh, we're
open?
taking a lot of damage.
Okay.
Okay, I'm repairing the core.
Nice, got the loot. Okay, we're
Okay,
done
moving
on the
back.
Corvette.
The
Jumping
Corvette
off.
is down.
The target lock on right there.
That was close.
What? This looks fun.
It's
This
good we
looks super
installed those
fun.
Sun's coming in. Watch out.
hull armor.
Yeah,
Wow.
we
This
got
looks
some fires
cool.
going on the
This
ship
looks
here.
really, really cool.
Yeah, I can see that. I just
We're
arrived
back.
at the wall of fire.
Ow.
Wow.
I'll take care of the.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh.
One more enemy
This
ship.
looks really, really
I
fun,
thought we were
guys.
safe.
I could definitely see this
Shooting
being a
on
game I
arrows.
play for a little while.
Jump in the
I'm
combat
standing in the
seats.
middle of the fire.
Looking out.
all right, now we're good.
Nice.
That should be fine. That was kind of dangerous. We were walking outside on the ship when that happened.
I wonder if that's how they warp.
Nah,
You
that's
fly to
perfectly
that
fine,
and then you
Orion.
warp.
That's good.
Okay.
All right, here's the loot, boys.
Material
Oh,
Nice.
loot. Okay.
collectors to retrieve it.
Okay, let's grab as much as we can carry.
Yeah. Philip and I are on it.
Dude, that's cool.
Ooh, nice.
Got some
Ammo
loot.
crates.
That's
Oh, we got
cool.
some blast absorbers.
Grab it and set it.
And some material. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, solar flare.
Solar flare. Oh my god.
Back,
Wait,
go
what?
back, go back, go back.
Okay, okay. I'm leaving the weapons
Yeah.
here. Let's get out.
Solar
Come on,
flare?
boys.
This ought to be cool.
Coming in.
That looks cool.
Okay.
Get in, get in, get in, get in.
I'm setting a destination. Everyone get in.
Yeah.
And
I'm aboard.
Yeah, let's
Is the
get
ship
out.
taking
jumping.
damage?
yeah, let's go.
Oh, I almost died.
Jump imminent. Remain safe.
Okay, the jump is
Alright.
kind of meh.
All right. Good job, everyone.
Once again, here's the thing, guys. The gameplay looks fun. I don't really care about flight mechanics. I don't really care about the graphics too much. It looks like they use like similar to like Star Wars and Star Trek, where they have magnetic shields around the ship where fires can happen in between the ship and the magnetic shields. There's a whole sci-fi nerd thing that goes into that, and I'm not saying I'm gonna go down that path or anything like that, but correct, most of the time there should not be fire in space, but it's looks fun, it looks cool. And like I said, this game never advertised itself as the next realistic space sim game, and that's fine. That's totally fine. This looks like Helldivers level of fun. Helldivers is not realistic. It's not the best shooter ever created, but it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it for that. It doesn't have to be super realistic for me to like get into it. And this looks super fun. And isn't that what a game's supposed to be? Is just fun. And that's all I'm looking for right now. I just want to have fun. When I get my 2, 3, 4 hours to play a video game, I just want fun. I don't want to have to, sorry, Star Citizen, but I don't want to have to find an item kiosk, load a bunch of stuff, run to the Galleria, go and, you know, buy more armor or ammo, run to the medical center, buy some med guns, buy some med pens, go to the cargo center, buy a 1 or 2 SCU box, run to my hangar, call my ship, go to the elevator, the freight elevator, call my box up, put it in my ship, and anything else I may want, and then finally get away from the space station and spend 45 minutes to an hour, and not including trying to meet up with my friends and anybody that wants to fly with me or, you know, be my guardian angel, my wingman. You know, I don't know. But this looks like a lot of fun. Guardian, what's up, man? This looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
That's the freighter. We'll have to barrage it with gunfire to force it to a stop.
I'm hoping it's out soon.
Cool, we made it.
We'll look on Steam in a minute, see if they got a release date.
Big freighter.
It's a big bar.
Yeah, see on these shields, like it's, oh no, this is the window. He's looking out of the window, but they showed the shields before. It's like a bubble around the ship, and I'm assuming lore-wise that's how they have fire on the outside of the ship. But technically, yes, Marcus, you're right. There should not be fire in space, right? No oxygen.
Checking sensors. Looks alone for now.
Suspicious.
Okay.
You guys are gonna get
Don't
jumped.
trust that. I'll install some armor.
Okay. So he's got to run around and actually put armor on too.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Alright.
Armor's installed.
Firing.
Let's go, guys.
Oh, you guys are so gonna get jumped.
Warning, enemy ships approaching.
Yeah, told you.
Remember, disabling
Ambush.
the freighter is our priority.
Oh, here they come.
They
Four
A
of
lot
them?
of them too.
I'm on the radiator. Not your fire in the
Yeah,
cockpit.
fire on the bridge.
Okay, rocket's coming.
Nice.
Oh, look at that. That missile almost hit him. Just,
Fire
Sniper
somewhere.
one.
it does disappoint me, but I'm not going to complain about it too much because, as I said, I don't think this game, I'm repeating myself over and over again, was touted for having a realistic flight experience, but this does remind me of Starfield's flight, and as long as I can use this, I won't complain too much. Oh, I covered it. As long as I can use this, I won't complain about it too much as far as flying, right? Because I doubt this will have joystick support.
Fire downstairs.
It's down in the bar.
The freighter is slowing down. Board the ship and find
Oh,
the
did we do
cargo.
it?
Yeah, we did it.
Enemy
Nice.
reinforcements
Nice.
on the way.
Me too.
I want him to go back
Let's
outside
cook
of the
some
ship
pizza
again.
then. Nice.
Oh, you're cooking pizza now? That's a thing? You can just stop mid-fight and make pizza? With
Okay,
pineapple?
perfect
Oh,
slices.
gross. Gross.
You have some
Gross.
pizza for me?
Hey,
Yeah.
you didn't take off your helmet, buddy.
Everyone can have some.
I'm not even hungry.
Yeah, we got an ammo box ready. Everyone got their healing.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, and when you eat, you
I
get
packed some
bonus health.
medicines.
Okay.
Ready
okay.
to board.
All right, docking.
That's cool.
Yep.
Looks scaringly quiet.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. Jumping off. Let's do this.
Interesting. I like that you can actually use a grappler gun.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. E, it does.
So enemies here.
Clear. Oh,
Ammo crates.
Nice. I'll place
Awesome.
one down here then.
Nice.
I'll be fine. Okay. This is great.
Ammo crates?
Probably
Double
gonna need
ammo.
it.
I think so too.
I wonder if you can play this with
Okay, get ready,
less than
guys.
4 players.
Yeah, oh, yep. That's this on there.
Okay.
Max, robots.
There's a lot of them.
Okay, push through.
Yep. Seekers.
Okay,
nice.
I will require some time to
Yeah,
Look
they
at
took
all
some
this
damage.
usable space that you can
I have
traverse.
located the cargo.
We dealt some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at the container.
Yep. Right behind you. Oh.
Oh, drones incoming.
Okay, I'm opening it. It's
Yep.
almost up.
Oh, okay, you can do it with just 2
This is not
players.
a great spot to be right now.
Yeah. I got the cargo.
Right
Cover
in
me.
the open.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
I wonder
Nick is
what.
running
I
forward.
mean,
I'm
it's
running for my life.
it's one thing to watch the gunplay, but I wonder how the gunplay actually feels.
Oh, gee. Okay.
Right behind you
I'm
guys.
coming.
You're pulling aggro, so it's pretty calm where
Does
I am.
anybody have a med kit or something?
I have a medibate. I'll spawn it here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, my drones? That's cool.
That's the first crate. Keep looking for me.
Okay. I'm heading back in.
Shotgun.
We still have a
cool,
lot of time though. We
cool,
can grab some
cool.
bonus cargo if you want to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Maybe don't go that way, Phil. There's something bad around the corner.
Good job.
What? Are
The
you
lighting's done well.
Okay,
I like the
yeah,
lighting
flank.
going in and out of the fire
afraid.
areas, or the areas that have
Okay.
fire.
I think I got aggro.
Yeah, back in. Let's get this
We
final.
got him. We got him.
It's bonus cargo. Okay, Matt, you got it?
Yeah.
It's Space of Thieves.
oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
kind of looks that way. I
Firebox,
don't know if
okay,
there's
let's get this.
PvP.
Okay,
We'll
let's
check
get
out the Steam store page
Okay, you
here
grab the cargo, Matt.
once
I'll
this
carry it.
video's over.
Nice, thank you. There's ammo by the entrance.
Yep. Yeah. Raptor's approaching.
Oh, I'm taking a lot
Because
of damage.
this is all
Firebox is on the stairs
PvE.
here. I think we just
I
need to
wonder
run
if there's
past them.
PvP.
Yeah, 50 seconds until reinforcements.
Okay, let's meet
I
up
need to
with
cover
Matt.
here. Yeah, I need to cover
covering, I'm
a
covering.
lot.
Yeah, we're coming.
It seems like there's a
Holding up
decent
firebox
amount of
over
team
here.
play.
Some grenades coming in. 30 seconds
Nice.
until reinforcements.
Okay, let's get out. We'll cover your exit.
Philip, we need to move.
We'll get the firebox.
Oh,
no.
that looked like it hurt.
Rasmus, go. I'll cover you.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Take up with the ship.
Oh, spider.
I'll grab it.
Hey, spawn.
Oh my god, they're getting
I'm
overwhelmed.
docking.
Okay, we're getting
Okay.
pushed back.
We're coming.
Oh god. Okay. Coming.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, get rid of the
go, go,
flyer
go,
so you
go.
don't get
Ships
chased.
are coming.
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm on board.
Wait for me.
Hedrick.
I'm coming.
Nice.
Go.
All right, you gotta mark the.
I want to see them get hit because I want to see if the shields are around
on
the
it.
ship,
Spark.
Marked.
like around the whole ship.
Combat station, I'm
Okay,
ready.
they're
sitting
jumping.
down. I'm ready to leave. To go now.
Oh no, we're
Upcoming
starting to
ships.
take fire.
Go. Oh, awesome job.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. That was cool. I liked it. But we're gonna do this. Hopefully my name's not on here. Nope, it's scarred. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Shh, be quiet. Okay. It does not have a release date yet. I would assume if they're letting streamers play it, I'm assuming it's got to be within 3 to 6 months. It's got to be within 3 to 6 months. I know this was supposed to come out late 2024 and they ran into some snags. Ship to ship and exploration, intense battle, both the ground and space. Always keep your ship upgraded and intact. Looks like it's only PvE and co-op, which I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. I really am. I'm fine with that. Xbox controller supported. Single player co-op. Family sharing. Okay. Okay. I mean, seamlessly go on and off ship, upgrade, maintain, repair, fly with the crew or go solo. Okay. So you can do this with, you know, 1, 2, 3 or a max crew. And that's cool. That's cool. I can do that. I'm down with it. But we'll keep an eye on that. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Can only get, hopefully get better, right? Can only get better, correct? What's the matter with Helldivers? There's nothing wrong with Helldivers. Let's look at Helldivers right now. Let's see, is it top 10 still? Nope. Well, let's see where we're at. Bet you it's still in the 30,000s. No, 55,000. Still one of the higher played games right now, right? You can look at Star Wars Outlaws. 211. Gray Zone. Or there. What? I don't know why that's not showing up. Space Marine. Wow, spelling is hard. 2. 8,000 players. Come on, give me some other popular games right now. Some games that are super popular. Black Myth. Wukong. 9,000 players. What are some really popular? Marvel Rivals, which, you know, it's still what, month 2? 300,000 people. What are some super popular multiplayer games right now? Now this is only going to give you Steam. It's not going to give you PlayStation and all of that. So Helldivers has got as many players as the newest Call of Duty. So that's not bad. Tarkov's not on there. Can anybody else give me other games that are extremely popular right now? Online, multiplayer, PvP, or co-op? Any? Is it? No, we'll try. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Enter. Yeah, Gray Zone. Which Delta Force I've been playing. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, 44,000. So I mean, it's right up there with the most popular games. Oops. Finals I know is damn near dead. At least the last time I looked at it. Okay, maybe not. 37,000. Final Fantasy. Yeah, look at that. First Descendant. Blech. Yeah. So it's Helldivers is doing pretty good, all things considered. The only game that's really dominating all games right now is Marvel Rivals. That's the only one that's like dominating everything right now. Like absolutely dominating everything. We got time for one or two more, I guess. We'll do this one because I've also been super interested in this game for a long while. So here is the end game for Dune Awakening is Next Level by Survival Central. I've never heard of this guy. He's only got 507 subscribers. My browser history? I really don't browse on here unless I'm looking at YouTube stuff to make YouTube videos. I don't even know how to look at my browser history. Yeah, here you go. That's my recent one. This is my browser history. It's all YouTube stuff. Superman. Adam Baldwin. Yeah, see? This is my internet history. That's it. It's going back till November. There's no midget porn. There's no Serbian what do they call them? Teddy bear porn. There's nothing weird on here. It's just YouTube, really. YouTube and searches for like stuff that I might be researching. That's it. Yeah, this PC is clean. It's never been on OnlyFans. It's never been on Pornhub. It's never been on any of that stuff. I've never been on Facebook. I've never been on any of that, right? Never, nothing. I want my PC like squeaky clean, you know? So who did I say this was? Survival Central, and this is the end game for Dune. What are you talking about? That's my real history.
The release date for the upcoming survival MMO Dune Awakening, and it will be releasing on May 20th of 2025. So we're only a few months away from finally being...
Who said I only have one PC, right? This is the one that I do all my work on, my gaming on. I want that like running tip-top shape. I don't need no extra cookies or malicious malware or Trojan horses or any of that stuff getting on my PC. Who says this is the only PC I have, right? I'm just saying, guys, this is the one that I stream on, that I do my YouTube stuff on, that I do my gaming on. And I learned a long time ago, when you start doing that stuff and you're on a gaming PC, you start slowing shit down and eventually we'll crap it out. And so that's why I don't do that stuff. And I even still go above and beyond, and I make sure I got malware on there. I make sure I have a CC cleaner and a couple other things, right? Because I want to keep this PC protected and running smooth for until I can upgrade it, which is getting pushed further and further back. You know, not due to work or due to like things like that. It's just and I've gone over it before a couple of times. I got some family medical things going on, and there's going to be a lot of money going towards that. And you know, unfortunately, my hobbies have to take a backseat to family, and that's the way things have to be, right? Family first, everything else come second, third, all the way down the line. So, you know, that's where we are. No, I'm not asking you to send money. I don't want you to feel bad for me. Shit happens, or they wouldn't make bumper stickers about it, right?
Able to play this game.
There are certain things of Dune I'm not sold on yet.
Videos going over all of the public information we have for this game, and in this video I want to go over some of the most important elements, I think, for a lot of people looking to get into this game, and that's what we're expecting in the end game.
Yep.
Now, Dune Awakening is primarily
going on my
a survival
hormone blockers
game
next
with
month.
MMO
Grumpy.
elements on top of that, so a lot more social features and a lot more players in different areas of the game with a lot more permanence elements than some of these other survival games.
That's
but
cool.
In a similar way to these other survival games, a lot of the base elements such as gathering, base building, and kind of...
Look, everybody at my job thinks I look Asian. I don't think I look Asian, but hey, whatever, you know, they can all think I'm Asian. But I told a joke the other day. I said I'm so Asian, my pronouns are hiya. So yeah, there you go.
Base farming is going to be very important throughout the entirety of the game. So keep that in mind.
I do like that you can construct so much stuff.
Pretty much everything you're doing, even from the start of the game, will still play roles in the deepest parts of the end game. And since the entirety of the progression throughout the game is important for the end game, I think we have to quickly go through.
My wife calls me Mexikinda. I am Mexikinda.
So when you start off into Dune Awakening, you're going to choose a world which is...
I speak as much Spanish as a 6-month-old, but I do love their food.
Basically just choosing your overarching server or realm that you would expect from other MMOs. Then you're going to create your character. There's going to be a 15-minute starting scenario that just teaches you some about the game. And then you're going to be put into Haga Basin, which is basically a 40
I do have
to
some
50
native blood as well.
And a permanent PvE focused area that's the size of Conan Exile. So it's still a pretty large map.
Okay.
It has smaller pockets that allows for PvP, but these areas are primarily for PvE, for farming, and for base building. And then once you've created your first flying vehicle, you'll be able to go visit the 2 hub areas, which are basically just cities, non-combat areas. Where
that has got to be one of the most cringe moments of my YouTube career. And the fact that you turned it into a video is even worse, Grumpy.
You'll be able to go to the player market, you'll be able to pick up quests, visit with other players, or visit the different factions, and they're wanting like 100 to 200 people in every instance of these hub areas. Now these hub areas will create new instances when they get filled up with too many players, but Haga Basin, there won't be any instancing there. So again, you'll be able to build permanent bases there and really have that element of permanence, which is really important for MMOs. Now likewise to visiting the hub areas, once you've built your first flying...
So the one thing that I don't like about this, right? There's a lot of things I like about this game. There's a few things that I don't like. There's a few things that I don't like about this game as well. Like a lot of the melee. Now, granted, a lot of this is not done yet, and it's not going to be out until probably late 2025, and I'm fine with that. But the melee in this looks extremely stiff and not very fluid at all. Some of the other actions that the player character makes is very stiff, very janky, and hopefully it gets corrected before it comes out. But one of the big things that I don't like is that you're building in Haga Basin, which, you know, if you've been following this game, you know what that means. If you haven't, Haga Basin is a PvE area only, and that's where you build your base, do your crafting, etc. It's a PvE area. You're not going to be able to attack other people's bases. Now, I'm hoping... Oh, it's got a May 20th release date now. Interesting. I'm probably not going to buy it the day it comes out. I'll probably wait a month or so, let a few patches come out, few tuning and balancing and whatnot, and see what the masses are saying review-wise. I'm no longer going to be jumping into games day one, just because... I mean, look at a lot of the issues that we have, right? You know, day one, Stalker 2 comes out, has ridiculous amounts of bugs. Does it still have ridiculous amounts of bugs? Yes, it does. And there's been a few games throughout the year that have come out that just are not good day one. And I don't want to be caught in that anymore.
Cool.
So I'm hoping that in the PvP areas you can build like resource mining outposts and stuff like that, because we need to have some way to attack bases.
Also go to the main end game areas, which are called the Deep Desert. Now the Deep Desert as a play space is split up into 9 different meshed servers, which means you're able to freely travel between them without any like loading or anything like that. But those 9 different areas are on different servers, and this is primarily so they can have a lot of people on them without negatively impacting the other areas or zones. And they're wanting to allow 500 people in each one of those 9 different areas. So you could have 500 different people in a battle in one of those areas, and the next mesh zone over wouldn't have reduced performance because of that. That's the general idea with
so it's
meshing.
static server
Now,
meshing.
one of the main elements of the deep
with.
desert is that it's full PvP pretty much everywhere. Now, I know there is some small starting area once you go there that doesn't allow for PvP, kind of like a safe zone once you're getting into the deep desert, so you can't just instantly be attacked when like zoning in or flying into the areas. Just a small little safeguard so you can't get camped right off spawn.
So guns are, when you change the cosmetics of the gun, it's still the same gun technically, right? It's how the gun functions. So an M14, what makes that different different than say an M4 is that it's got a it's a gas operated rolling block bolt, right? Whereas an AR has a reciprocating bolt in it, right? And there's a little bit more to it than that, but yeah, you can take an SKS, pull out the trigger and the bolt and the barrel and the receiver and all of that and put it in a M4 style thing, and it doesn't make it an M4. It's still an SKS with just a, you know, it's still just an SKS in a different cosmetic setup, right? Because I've done that. I have a few firearms that I have taken the receiver out and the trigger housing out and put it in completely different cosmetically changing stocks, and it doesn't look like the original firearm anymore, but it technically is.
All of this massive play space is full PvP, but what's also really interesting on top of that is that it gets wiped on a weekly basis. So if you go to the deep desert one week and then go back the next week, it's actually going to be changed up a lot. So a big Coriolis storm comes through. It not only wipes all player buildings, but it also changes up what content you can partake in that week. So maybe the storm comes through one week and it fills up a bunch of points of interest with sand. You can't visit them anymore, but maybe it uncover some other areas that weren't available in the previous week. And this is super cool because this allows a kind of weekly wipe of the area. They compared it to the wipes in something like Rust. So every week you get a bit of a different gameplay, you get new areas and new loot to go chase. And that's actually pretty important because all of the different points of interest and their dungeons are all going to be able to have different unique pieces of loot or schematics or crafting recipes.
I mean, I've known about this before, but it sounds cool.
One week and get this
really
rare
like
recipe that crafts a really good weapon, but next week that may be covered with sand. Nobody could go there. So that means until that dungeon is opened up again, that could be maybe a few weeks later, you may be the only person that's able to craft those weapons, and maybe you could farm up a bunch of those recipes that week and have a big stockpile of them to be able to tie into another really important part of the end game and the MMO aspects of the game, which is the player market. Now, the exchange or the player market is going to be very similar to a lot of other MMOs, basically just an auction house where you can go sell items to other players.
The trading post is the end game.
Trade things to other players.
I don't know if I like that.
But majority of people are just going to be doing it through the market, which you'll be able to go to in the different hub cities. Now, why this is really important is because crafting is going to be a really big element in the game, which is going to allow players to focus on that if they want to craft really good things, get really good recipes, and even use the blueprinting system and sell those. And the blueprinting system will also play a role in every aspect of the game. But what this allows you to do is create a base, blueprint it, and sell that blueprint to another player so they can just use that blueprint, place it down, and then you basically just place the different elements into the blueprints to create the base. So you could say be a PvE focused player that never goes to the deep desert. You could create really cool base designs, sell it to PvP players that are always in the deep desert, and sell them like a really good defensive tower or something. They could buy that blueprint from you and then go place it down in the deep desert for that week and have a really good base to contest a different area.
Cool.
And that's a really big element going into the end game, the player trading and player markets, and also a really big element of being able to play the game how you want, no matter if you're a PvPer or a PvEer. And this is also going to tie back into another really important element of the end game, which is the Lancerad. Now, the Lancerad in Dune is basically the governing council of kind of what happens in the overarching universe and all of the main houses.
From what I understand in the lore, they're the check to the Emperor so that the Emperor just doesn't run over one of the houses. Although, what good did that do the Atreides, right? But yeah, they're supposed to be like the House of Representatives for the Senate equivalent, and they're supposed to keep the Emperor in check, or supposed to.
Are a part of this, and how this
but
is
I'm
going
a long
to play out
time
in Dune
removed
Awakening
from
is that you'll be
Starcitizen
able
lore,
to join
Dune
multiple
lore,
different
Jesus.
factions as a guild, or even as a single player if you just want to create your own guild and then join one of these factions. And at the launch of Dune Awakening, there'll be 2 factions. They're working on adding a 3rd one later down the road. But the Lancerad plays really heavily into these different factions because there'll be a weekly Lancerad where you can kind of think about it as like a bingo board. And let's say all these different NPCs or factions want you to go do different things that week, and if you're the first faction to do it, you get a point on the Lancerad bingo board. And maybe they'll want you to craft a bunch of ornithopters and give it to them. Maybe they'll want you to craft a bunch of different weapons. So being a really good crafter for your faction could be really good. Being a PvE player that just gathers resources and crafts things, you could be really good for a specific section of that Lancerad for that week. And basically the first faction to get bingo wins the Lancerad for that week. And what this allows is the faction to choose a weekly buff that's primarily based upon the deep desert, but we did get some examples that seem to be just faction wide no matter what you're doing. We got some examples of the deep desert being full loot PvP for that week. So instead of just dropping some resources and losing some durability on your armor, you would drop everything on you when another player goes and kills you. Or we got the example of all crafting for your faction is reduced by 25%. So that week you could really want to go craft everything you possibly could because it's 25% cheaper for that week. And there'll be this big tug of war every single week to win the Lancerad and get these big buffs for your faction or different server roles that
so
can
they're
heavily
really pushing
change up how you play.
Horde
And this
or guild
Lancerad
play.
is also being built as a really good way to push players to do different objectives and
See, right
different
now, a lot of
pieces
this
the
just
end
looks
game on
very,
a
very
weekly
stiff.
basis. So maybe this week, this section
Especially the
Lancerad wants you to
melee.
go kill a bunch of enemies. Maybe it wants you to go get a bunch of spice. Maybe it wants you to craft a bunch of rare things and give it to them. Maybe it wants you to clear this dungeon a bunch of times. So it's these objectives that are pushing you into all of these different elements of the end game. And that's going to play a really big role of the end game going forward. And this faction v faction war every week is going to play a very big role, especially for PvPers. But again, PvEers and crafters can still take part in it. They are also talking about adding a 3rd faction somewhere after the initial launch of the game. And the 3rd faction is basically going to balance the scales of the other 2 factions. Now, the general idea that they gave for this is that, let's say the Lancerad is still a bingo board. So you need 5 in a row to win the Lancerad that week. But let's say this 3rd faction only gets rewards if they make sure the 2 other factions were evenly matched for the entirety of the week. So you need, say, 5 in a row on the bingo board, and that 3rd faction would only get rewards if the other faction that didn't win had 4 in a row. So they were 1 off each other. So the 3rd faction would be balancing the scales to make sure the 2 other factions were kind of balanced. And this is their general idea for that 3rd faction, but that won't be in at launch. That's something they're working on for a future update. And going back around to the deep desert, the deep desert is going to have all of the different content you would fully expect. They're going to have points of interest to go clear, dungeons to go clear, which are being compared much more to Fallout Vaults or Skyrim dungeons than what you would expect from other like MMORPGs.
Okay, that's not
then you're a
terrible.
survival game, so you obviously have building bases, especially the temporary weekly bases that will be in the deep desert, because again, the Coriolis Storm is going to come through every week and destroy all of your
Coriolis
bases
Storm,
there.
I do
Then
like that idea.
Really important is spice. Spice is obviously very important for Dune as a universe, but in the game, it's going to play multiple different roles. First off, it's going to be like a main currency. So going and farming and harvesting these big spice blows is basically just going to be farming currencies, but spice is also going to play a role in your character progression. Now, we don't know exactly how this is going to work. Being in contact and consuming a bunch of spice is going to augment your character abilities in in some way. So there's going to be multiple different things you want to use spice on. And spice is presumably also going to be something you're just able to trade on the market as
Use
well.
the force
But it's
loop
also going to be very
or
interesting
something?
to see if
Is that
those
what they're gonna
kind of
have?
temporary buffs you get from consuming a bunch of spice, if those are good enough to make players want to go and like get a bunch of spice from other players and juice themselves up with it to buff out their powers or augment their powers in some way. And then obviously
I'm
on
sure
top
that's
of
what
all
it's
of
gonna
that,
be.
since the deep desert is full open PvP, you have PvP on top of everything, which is going to be one of the big focuses for the end game. While you're harvesting spice, another group may come in and try to fight you and take it from you. You can have big helicopter battles because you're fighting on your ornithopters, and you may get in fights with other players in their ornithopters. You
We'll
obviously
see
get
how it works
players on the
out.
ground with different weapons. You're going to be able to have ground vehicles as well. So you're going to have this really big open sandbox of possible PvP and combat that's going to be taking place when you're doing any of the other combat in the deep desert. Now, I'm still not sure how common the PvP is going to be, because remember, the deep desert is these 9 different sections
And
that are
they
meshed
seem
together. You
big.
can have hundreds of people in each section, but those different sections are massive.
Yeah,
in fact,
they're
the
supposed to be
entirety of the
really
deep
big.
desert is just multiple times larger than the Conan Exiles map, which is already a really big map. So you're going to have this absurdly large play space that can have a lot of players in it, but it's not always going to have tons of players in each area. So you could go to another section and it could be primarily PvE for a while, but you may have other players just running around searching for people to fight. So you're always going to have to keep your eye out for other players and getting into really big PvP battles. But that's pretty much the entirety of what
I
we
don't know.
know for the end game.
I'm going to wait for the reviews.
And I think this is going to be an incredibly fun
'Cause there's-
game.
there's
If you're someone
some
that really
things I
likes
like.
these open world survival PvP.
There's some things I like about this game, and then there's a lot of things I don't like, and it seems like it could be really, really cool game, but at the same time, like, how tedious is this going to be? How, like, and there should be a grind, don't get me wrong, but how tedious is this going to be? How long is the grind going to be? How grindy is the grind, etc.? Whereas, like, this game, Jump Ship, looks like I can jump in and start having fun immediately, and grinding is just a side effect of playing the game. What is this going to be like? What is this going to be like? Because I don't want to have to spend 100 hours, 200 hours, 700 hours, 1,000 hours in order to start having fun, right? I used to have a lot of fun playing Path of Exiles because the grind was part of the fun, right? You'd have fun doing the grind, or the grind was the side effect of having fun. But the only reason why I stepped away from that game, it wasn't the grind. It wasn't that I wasn't having fun. It was the seasons were 3 to 4 months, getting through the campaign, 12 acts long, you know, I forget how many missions are in each act, quests. It took a while. And when you work and you have kids, and it took me the entirety of the 3 months to get through the campaign, start mapping, get to the higher tiered maps, start farming all the stuff that I wanted to either make, craft, or tradables in the crafting game to get what I wanted. And it was like a week later when I would achieve that point and I would want to possibly make a new character, because I played that one for 3 months, and use the mechanic in the game to do this character. It's like, oh, well, I can't now because the new season is starting in a week. So now it's not worth it. Next season, like I played 6 seasons, 7 seasons of Path of Exile, and I enjoyed them all. I just couldn't keep up with them. And, you know, on some of the seasons where work or family stuff, you got more work or more family stuff going on, you can't, for me, I couldn't complete those seasons. So it wasn't that I disliked the game. It was just, I didn't have enough time to play anything else and have a life outside of the game, really, and still have fun with it. I'm glad other people have fun with it. And I'm still interested in Path of Exiles 2. And I'm going to play it eventually when it goes free, and I'm going to have fun with it more than likely, but you know, I'm just going to have to wait. we're going to have to see. All right, guys, I unfortunately need to get going. I got to take a shower. I got to go to bed early. I got work in the early AM. I have 2 days left of work and then 3 days off, and I got to change over to overnight. So I'm going to have some extra time at night. Hopefully I'm going to try to get that PvP video done, mostly get the filming for it. And yeah, you know, it's been fun, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. Grumpy, Mr. E, Marcus, who else is here? Guardian, Skeet, Pagan, JT, should I say Cosmic? The new guy that showed up. I'm not sure what his name was. I can't remember his name. Let me scroll up and find it. Who was the new guy? Because he had a sub. New Type. Thank you, New Type, for coming in. So I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to stream more this coming summer. I actually am using vacation time, and I have a bunch of weeks off later this year. So yeah, anyways, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all, and so long. Thanks for all the fish, and I'll catch you hopefully this weekend. Later, guys.